And what is up, everybody? Okay, just a couple of days ago, I see this post. Uh, it's not even a post; it was a web advertisement on the side of YouTube. Said the God of High School. I thought maybe it was like some Flash fighting game, or it said the website was to Webtoons, and it turns out it is a manga. It is an internet manga. I was shocked to see it. It's the art is very good. Uh, it is very reminiscent of, I forget the guy's name who did Street Fighter 2 Turbo and the later Street Fighter stories for Udon Comics. I forget his name. And Chamba. Yeah, Chamba. It was very reminiscent of his art style, and I also find out that it's a Korean manga. So for those of you, who are still butthurt over the whole Superman losing to Superman beating Goku, or Toph beating Gara, here's something else for you guys to look into, since you don't bother reading American comics either. What winds up happening here, the whole plot of this, is apparently there's this tournament going on between high school kids. And basically they're finding the strongest fighters in the world, and apparently from a whole bunch of different regions. But of course, this being a Korean manga, it takes place in Korea. Now, the three main characters, I don't know their names. It's two boys and a girl. There's three different fighting styles. The girl has her family's sword style, which in Korean martial arts, the Korean sword is very similar to very similar to the Japanese katana. In fact, I want to say it looks a bit more like a ninjato, because it doesn't really have the curve that katana or tanto would have, and it's kind of straight. Then you have this other kid who is Kyokushin karate. I did White Tiger Kung Fu, and as I want to say that was the first art that honestly taught me how to fight. I'm talking about practicality of fighting, but the instructors there would say, like, oh yeah, this, which a majority of certain martial arts instructors who only learned the one style, I understand you became proficient in that one style, that you really didn't need much else. Understandable. But to say that, oh, we don't need, you don't need to learn anything else, it's a bit closed-minded. On top of that, the only martial art other than White Tiger Kung Fu they respected was Kyokushin karate. So the fact that you have this in there was very interesting. Then you have this Korean kid who is pure Taekwondo. I'm talking ancient Taekwondo. I'm talking real, not commercialized, Americanized Taekwondo. I'm talking about back to its roots. I'm talking Rock Marine Special Forces type Taekwondo. Okay, and that kid is the kid with the Taekwondo is the main character, but the other two basically are in this as well, and it's reminiscent of I want to say it's reminiscent of Grappler Baki, or Baki the Ultimate Grappler. Also, like well, not necessarily Street Fighter, but things like Grappler Baki, almost like Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple, Shoot Fighter Tekken Tough, and even somewhat of Ultimate Muscle, because you have these bad guys, organizations, and everything like that, and everything's fought in a four-sided three-rope ring, so it's not like it's done in a cage. And even I want to say borrowed element from King of Fighters, because even after tournament finals where only one of the characters advance, lo and behold, there's a rule that new rule now that basically the top 3 fighters fight as a team now. So it's interesting. So it's almost like Metabots. The top 3 fighters in whatever region fought in the tournament. It was definitely interesting. For the most part, very very good story, very good art. The backstory, it drags the way you normally would expect an anime or a manga to drag constantly, and you have to continuously add backstory. You have to, it's like mangas don't build. Basically, you're like a majority of the stories, especially the good ones nowadays, start after the fact, and then as time progresses, you find out what happened before, which a lot of American comics don't get into that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just a bit predictable, I should say. But for the most part, I don't know how long this manga's been around. It's already got like 195 issues online already. I'm shocked that more people don't know about this. I'm shocked, they haven't made, they haven't tried really publishing, the book. I'm shocked that they haven't made like a Flash video game about it, or an anime about it. Like 195 issues already. It's like, come on. If it's that popular for you to be able to keep doing this over and over again, you should have at least had an offer for something like that. And well, it's on webtoons.com. I would figure, for something with webtoons, that it would at least, be animated, but cartoons aren't always motion. Animation isn't always cartoons can be animation. Animation is not always cartoons. That being said, cartoon characters from comic strips, the Sunday Funnies, those are cartoons. They don't, they're not animated cartoons, but they are cartoons nonetheless. Well, anime, majority of animes like Fist of the North Star, can't call that a cartoon. Like another real bloody one, the Blade anime, definitely not a cartoon. A bunch of different ones I could get into. But that being said, those of you watching, those of you interested, seriously check this thing out. I have no idea what issue I'm on. I've just been reading it for the past 3 days, and like not doing. I've been busy with a bunch of other things, but every time I get a chance, I just get back and continue reading it. It's that good. Like I said, 195 episodes, and it hasn't picked up an anime or video game or nothing. So people, get on the ball, start reading this story, and I honestly can't stress enough like how good this story is. For those of you anime and manga lovers, this is right up your alley. And for a Korean manga, it's like the only reason you could tell that it's a Korean manga is because they stress the hell out of the fact that they're in Korea. Aside from that, you could have just as easily said the characters were from Japan, and you wouldn't have known the difference. Man, it's just that good, okay? Even for American comic book readers, it's like you really don't have much better to do nowadays anyway. Nowadays Marvel and DC are dropping the ball. So I'm done talking. You guys have a good night.